believe in fear. I believe in death. I'm on the bottom with the rest of them. I don't hope anyone left to say I was different.
Alright guys, welcome back, and welcome to Max Payne from 2008, based off of the popular video game. It's worth playing, but I'm surprised there's no PS5 version for this game. It's sad. So Max Payne, played by Mark Wahlberg, which is an okay choice to play Max Payne, I guess, now has a flashback of the death of his wife and child. Now if you played the video game like I have, well, most of it, you will easily notice that this movie is pretty much like the video game, with some rewrites, I guess. So Max continues to drown and has flashbacks of the killing of his wife and daughter. So 1 week goes by since the incident at Max Payne's house, and we are of course in New York, and we see a new detective being introduced to the precinct.
What do you say we grab a beer after work or something?
So the new guy gets rejected by Max Payne, and the detective working at the precinct tells a new detective that his wife and kid were killed. That's why Max Payne doesn't speak much. So Max Payne is done work and is now at home. And now quickly to the next scene where he's at the New York subway station like in the video game, and walks past these three guys. And the three follow Max Payne after dropping a small glass of Valkyr, a drug, just like in the video game. A drug which we'll have much more information on later in the movie. And now the guy wants Max Payne's watch. And shoots all the stalls to get one of the guys out, and shows him a picture of his wife Michelle, who we never see in the movie, just in flashbacks. It talks about the robbery at his house and even this guy named Bill. And now we see this guy running through the train tunnel and gets killed, the same guy that was one of the three guys. And now Max Payne goes to see Trevor here, played by Andrew Friedman, who worked with Max in the past and now has a party without inviting the Max Payne. And this girl has been staring at Max the entire time and comes here. Her name is Natasha, played by Olga Kurilenko.
Is that a light?
Don't smoke.
Which we all know if you played Max Payne 3, the video game, on the PS3 and Xbox 360 days, he will smoke a lot of cigarettes and notices a tattoo on Natasha's arm. And now walks over here, Mona Sachs, played by Mila Kunis, Max Payne's colleague in the second Max Payne video game. More than just a colleague, by the way. And of course, Mona is Natasha's sister, and he has to ask her something first. Only to see she's having sex, and his guard from behind walks here. His name is Jack Lupino, played by Amari Nolasco. Again, just like the video game, and this happens at this house. So Max and Natasha made it back to his place and takes off her shirt, and Max wants to know the name of the guy who was guarding the whorehouse.
Get your shit and get out.
So Natasha leaves and calls for Owen to ask Jack Lupino for more stuff. Okay. And she will bump into Jack Lupino and sends out these big birds. So Max is making coffee at home and grabs his jacket and now goes to work since the next day and sees his ex-partner, and his name is Alex Balder, played by Donna Logue, and wants him to see some things, of course, Natasha's murder location. And we even see that Alex found Max's badge in Natasha's body.
Why are you showing me this?
I found this here.
Natasha.
And he notices that it is Natasha and Jack Lupino watching on top, and now, like the possessed version of Jack Lupino, and now at the Citizen Bar to get a drink and speak about this, but he really wants Max to understand he did all he could to work on Michelle Payne's case, Max's wife, which was dodged the case. Meanwhile, Mona Sachs at this Russian meeting, which is a funeral meeting for Natasha, and Alex Balder investigating Natasha's murder. So that means Michelle was also killed by someone in Natasha's circle who has the same tattoo as her. And calls up Max Payne to tell him, but led to his voicemail. So Mona Sachs is still thinking about her dead sister like in the previous scene. This cop comes to tell her. And if you have been paying attention so far, she called up an Owen twice right before Jack Lupino sent his possessed birds to kill her. That's what the cop came to tell Mona. So Max gets Alex's voicemail that he's coming over to his place, that he has a lot to say about Michelle's murder is connected to Natasha Sachs. And Max goes to see his place and sees that his door is open, only to see Alex Balder's dead body, and now this.
Alex?
Looks like that was Jack Lupino, and Max is in the hospital for getting beat up the next morning. And next to him is his colleague, or ex-colleague at the new NYPD precinct, B.B. Hensley, played by Beau Bridges. You know, brother of Jeff Bridges and son of Lloyd Bridges, two popular actors. So B.B. tells Max that Alex was already dead when they got there, and Max is always thinking about work. And B.B. tells he's not a cop anymore and he can't help him. So the NYPD has him as the prime suspect for the killing, Natasha Sachs, and he only has a week before he gets caught. And we'll take him to his office. In the next scene, we see this dude, Jason Colvin, played by Chris O'Donnell. It looks like he knows a lot of the other two murders, since Natasha's is the third one. So I'm guessing the first murder was Michelle Payne. The second one's probably, I don't know the second one, but yeah. So now at this Acer building, and BB has assigned in Max Payne, and we see Jason Colvin again as well. Looks like he works at the Acer building with BB, as well as Nicole Horn, played by Kate Burton, and she can call him anytime since Michelle is dead for help. So inside BB's office, and Max sees a magazine of Acer Pharmaceuticals, of course, owned by Nicole Horn, and we even see Michelle Payne's scholarship fund page, and now Joe walks in, played by Rutherford Gray, just a colleague of BB's, who will help him later on. And now Max Payne and B.B. Hensley are at Alex Balder's funeral, and of course the entire NYPD is also there too. And we even meet Alex Balder's wife, or sister, Krista Balder, played by the singer who sings Promiscuous Girl, Nelly Furtado, and slaps Max Payne. Dumb f***.
Made him think you hadn't done enough. What have you done, Max?
But she slapped him because he didn't answer to Alex Balder's call and could have saved him, and questions him. What was he doing when Alex was calling him? What was he doing anyway? Now Max leaves, and here comes Jim Bravura of Internal Affairs, or Detective Jim Bravura, played by the rapper Ludacris, and now wants Max Payne at his office now, and slaps Natasha Sachs' file with her height and weight printed on it. And asks why Natasha had his wallet, now slaps Trevor's file, also with his height and weight. Now asks what did Balder wanted to see him for. And now more unanswered questions as B.B. Hensley waits outside and hands B.B. his business card, and Max says anything, and the two walk out. But before that, he steps inside the homicide department.
I don't believe it. Just a guy.
Now runs inside Alex Balder's office, and now the door is being banged on, and all these cops still think that Max Payne killed Alex Balder. So he steals Natasha's phone records and sees that the two calls sent to Owen Green, and also the picture of the tattoo, and now runs out the window. And now at the very same bar where we will see Max Payne in the third video game, where you will eventually go to Brazil. That game came out in 2012. If you're what's he called, nostalgic gamer like myself, those were the good old days. But so BB is there to look for Max Payne, tells him that Alex Balder had something to tell him. And now Max just mumbles and walks away in anger, and walks past these three guys, and is now stopped by this gun pointed at him, and it's of course Mona Sachs. And she thinks Max killed her sister Natasha, and Max says Mona should just help him because Alex is dead too. So the two are now looking for Owen Green and are now at this building, and here shrieking as well as Jack Lupino watching, and was Owen here, was shrieking here. So Owen is played by Joel Green.
Owen, just relax. Tuck her up in their wing.
And it looks like he's also on drugs, probably Valkyr, and Owen is about to fall. So Jack Lupino, so Vulture, pulls Owen to kill him. Pulls him out the window. Now at this tattoo parlor to see where Natasha got her tattoos. And meets with the tattoo artist played by Stephen R. Hart. And Max Payne asks about the tattoo and now knows it's called the Norse Valkyrie. And this tattoo artist gets passionate about it and starts to tell the life story of this tattoo. Meanwhile, as Jack Lupino drops this drug called Valkyr inside this guy and kills the already addicted Valkyr addict. So Max and Mona are here now, and now she wants to speak to Lincoln here, played by Jamie Hector, and asks about Natasha, about the tattoo, and the tattoo means that the devil is building his army. So Jack Lupino is a devil here, who's building his army by, pouring Valkyr in people that he needs for his army. And the guy who was building his army is called Jack Lupino, who we've been seeing all along, and can be found. And Jack Lupino can be found at Club Ragnarok, again, just like the video game. And Lincoln is asked about Max Payne, and he tells her to stay away from her. Yeah, right, buddy. So Max is driving, and now we see Gognitti. Looks inside Michelle Payne's box. And sees Acer Pharmaceuticals papers. Okay. Now back to the diner with BB again and tells him what were Acer Pharmaceuticals papers doing Michelle's work box. So Max recalls his wife Michelle's old supervisor, John Colvin, whom he already seen, and BB says he still works at Acer Pharmaceuticals.
Colvin. John Colvin. Is he still around?
Jason Colvin. Guy's name is Jason.
Yeah, right, Jason Colvin. I said this before. It's not John. And now BB calls back Jim Bravura and is ready to tell him everything at his office and tells Max his life story, and that's all. And that's all about Michelle's killing, and Max looks at his old house and more flashbacks of Max Payne during the day.
Michelle? Michelle?
And as Jack Lupino's guys have broken in and sees a dead Michelle Payne and the dead baby. As BB narrates the story and tells Bravura and tells him that he could have saved Michelle if Max Payne got there 10 minutes earlier. And BB tells Jim Bravura that the third guy is missing, and that the third guy may be Jason Colvin or Jack Lupino. And BB wants Bravura to find Jason Colvin before Max Payne does. Speaking of Jason Colvin, he's here and meets Nicole Horn again with Jack Lupino's file again, and she doesn't care and just take care of it, Jason. So the next day, Colvin's back to work at Acer Pharmaceuticals and gets told that, or Acer Pharmaceuticals, and gets told that a detective is here, and it's of course Max Payne.
Jackie. Hi. Detective.
And asks Colvin what Michelle was working on before she died, and even locks the door and throws the phone out, and now yells for Jackie, his secretary. And Jim Bravura is here to ask about Michelle Payne, and Max is hitting Colvin while Jackie summons for BB. And BB won't call the police since Bravura is here. Since Bravura here is the police, and now Colvin tells Max the Valkyr drug was made for military soldiers to be more aggressive, and the addicted ones would ask for more, the ones that already took the Valkyr drug. That's why do you think Jack Lupino acts the way he does right now so far in the movie? He took too much of Valkyr, became an addict, and now he's just untouchable. So the SWAT team is now here, and Colvin will only speak outside the building since Colvin will probably get killed for knowing vital info about the Valkyr drug. Okay. And Colvin gets killed, of course, and the SWAT guy looks like he already knew who to kill since there's a rat inside the corporation, and Max Payne shoots back. So Bravura calls for more backup, and now what Max Payne is known for, running and shooting in a little bit of slow motion, avoiding that SWAT team, and even dives to get out and meets up with Bravura. So in the video game, last time I checked, Jim Bravura was Max Payne's commissioner. An old white guy. Alright, rewrites are common, I get it. Maybe there wasn't anyone that could fit Jim Bravura. Oh well, doesn't matter, the movie is okay, it's not bad. Yeah, as most people think it is. Okay, and Max knows Colvin knew, and the SWAT team broken in, and Max runs away. So Mona Sachs is back at the factory. Max is watching a Valkyrie commercial, back when ads were worth watching, the 2000s. Honestly, you just can't beat the 2000s quality, man. It was about, I'm telling you, it's the last best decade people
Need to see this.
From the dawn of time.
That's what this is about? A drug?
I actually liked. Yeah, 2000s was pretty much like the 90s. And of course, Jack Lupino, the military sergeant, was the first one to be affected by this drug, Valkyrie. Why do you think he acts the way he does in the movies this far? He's taken so much of Valkyrie to the point where he's like the devil practically. He has his own, army of Valkyrie addicts. But, those guys have taken a little too much and turned into like these black vultures. And yeah, Jack Lupino killed Michelle Payne and Mona, mentioning he's at Club Ragnarok. So now at Club Ragnarok, just like the video game, it's very rare Hollywood using video games to make a movie out of it. It's more common now than it was, in the maybe 1990s, 2000s, 2010s. Usually it's the other way around. The video game based off the movie, not the movie based off the video game. If that makes sense. But yeah, these days it's common. You got Twisted Metal turned into a TV show, and even got the Sonic Hedgehog movie with Keanu and Jim Carrey these days. Yeah, a lot of video game adapted movies now. Yeah. So, and Jack Lupino is there too and takes more Valkyrie, and Max Payne is here shooting the Valkyrie addicts. And walks downstairs to see more Valkyrie bottles, and these guys start shooting, and it looks like the cleaners from the Max Payne video game, and Max Payne kills it too. And walks downstairs to see more Valkyrie bottles, and these guys start shooting, and it looks like the cleaners from the Max Payne video game, and Max Payne kills it too. Played Max Payne, there's cleaners in that movie. And now the ultimate Max Payne moment. Breaks into this room to see that no one is here, and comes out the possessed Jack Lupino. Now a sword fight, what do you call Screwface and Steven Seagal from Marked for Death, and B.B. Hensley saves the day.
Baby?
Doing here.
And also the moment of truth. So BB has his colleague Joe knock out Max Payne, the same guy that walked into his office earlier, and now cuffs Max Payne up and tells him that Michelle was nosing around the Acer Pharmaceuticals building, and it was BB's idea of the Valkyrie drug, and Michelle knew all about it. Knew all about its dangers, and of course BB killed her, as you can see here. And BB is ready to drown Max Payne in this icy river, but Max Payne escapes on time, swims in the icy cold ocean, and we are back at the beginning of the movie, and has more flashbacks, and this one forces him to swim back up.
Not yet, Max.
And Max Payne is just having a freeze attack, but the only way to become more invincible in the last 15 minutes of the movie is to take Valkyrie to become more powerful, and limps away. So back at NYPD HQ, a different precinct, and we see this Randy Couture looking police officer complaining why his force is sitting here instead of out, looking for Max Payne. And Bravura says Max Payne is still out there and can't be captured, and brings in the FBI, and especially introduces the man himself.
Detective. Jack Taliente, Special Agent, FBI. Real?
You can tell by the voice from the video games that this is the man behind the voice of Max Payne. Agent Taliente, played by James McCaffrey. It really sucks that he wasn't chosen to play Max Payne himself. I mean, Mark Wahlberg, just a terrible Max Payne. This Max Payne right here, the real one, would have been a great job for James McCaffrey's acting career, or acting job, but he died in 2023 from cancer, unfortunately. And the worst part is, James McCaffrey's not even mentioned in the credits anywhere for this movie. The man that made Max Payne gets a crappy cameo as an FBI agent. Pathetic. Insane. Oh well. So this detective here, played by Ted Atherton, picks up the phone, and if you've seen Degrassi, the TV show, he played what's her name, Claire's dad. If you've seen Degrassi in the 2010s, and he was at Natasha's murder scene. Of course, is involved with BB, and tells him Jim Bravura called up the FBI to get Max Payne and knows all about the Valkyrie drug. So yeah, BB and Joe here make a run for it since the FBI are involved and go into the parking lot. So Max Payne has made it and shoots at everyone here. And now that BB and Joe were stuck in the elevator, BB calls up Nicole Horn and tells her the Michelle Payne incident is back to bother them. So yeah, the CEO of Acer Pharmaceuticals is also included in all of this. Great. Just like in the video game.
He's not dead, he's here.
Okay, so BB grabs some bombs while Max Payne is shooting and sees Michelle's fantasy and the Valkyrie drug is killing him, and comes out Mona Sachs helping him shoot. So BB is in danger. So Max Payne will visit Nicole Horn's grave in Max Payne 3, the video game, which will come out in 2012. 4 years after this movie, okay, and Mona Sachs shoots, and again Max has made it to BB's office and sees that the Valkyrie drug effects again, like Jack Lupino.
We'll take Payne alive if there's anything left. Everybody upstairs now. Guys, that's our cue. Visual one upstairs.
And Bravura's here with Agent Taliente. He's talking to the real Max Payne, by the way. Mark Wahlberg can't even come close to the real deal. And Joe blows up the entire Acer Pharmaceuticals building for good. Okay, so the real Max Payne checks on Jim Bravura and calls him to check the building. And we're at the top again with BB there on the helipad. I can see why he's called BB since, Bo Bridges' initials are BB. BB, Bo Bridges, common sense, man, come on. So Max Payne has made it, and now have a great life, BB Hensley. And Max Payne is in pain, haha, and the Valkyrie drug effects are gone, and his present self is somehow back in this flashback, thinking of something that, memory could not even formulate, so he comes up with his own dream. And that is Max Payne from 2008. Directed by John Moore. The movie is okay, but could have been better if you had James McCaffrey as Max Payne. Some video games are not meant to be turned to movies. I don't know why that's common now in the 2020s or even the late 2010s. Not worth it. And Mark Wahlberg is a terrible Max Payne, and James McCaffrey should have been that real Max Payne. I've said this. Rest in peace. I got nothing else to say, and I strongly suggest you play the Max Payne video game. Sucks there's no Max Payne 4. So keep yourself updated in the short section for my next set of episodes, and I will see you next time. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for your support once again. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Keep yourself updated in the short section, okay? Take care, and play all 3 Max Payne video games, and watch the movie, even though it's not the best. See you soon.